Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, on SABC3. Earlier on, we were talking about how a South African telescope helped in the discovery of a new exoplanet. But now we're talking South Africans doing incredible things. Adventurer and mountaineer Sibusiso Vilane started climbing mountains in 1996, conquering the Drakensberg in that year, and 3 years later, Kilimanjaro, and thereafter the Himalayas. Now, on the 26th of May 2003, he stood on the summit of Mount Everest, becoming the first black person in history, in the world, to ever achieve this feat. And now he's done it again, conquering the Tenzing and Edmund Hillary Marathon. What an incredible achievement. Sibusiso, you must be absolutely thrilled at this remarkable achievement. I mean, you've conquered, as I said now, the Tenzing and Edmund Hillary Marathon, one of the toughest in the world. Tell us about this journey and how you feel with what you've done.
I am Sibusiso Vilane, who had just run the Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay Everest Marathon yesterday. It was a 16-year-old dream of mine to do it because I made the commitment as I was walking down the mountain in 2003 during my first summit of Mount Everest. That was the inaugural year of this race. 16 years later, I feel very exhilarated to have run it. It wasn't an easy run or race for me, and I've pushed myself really through everything else that I needed to have or dig deep to reach the finish line. But having done it yesterday, I'm super stoked. I'm so pleased. I'm so very grateful. I'm just over the moon, not on top of the world, because I've been on top of the world to have been able to achieve this.
Ah, well said indeed. And of course, you decided on one of the most demanding and difficult marathons in the world. How did this decision come about?
After summiting Everest in 2003, I decided I was going to run this marathon, which I did last year. But the commitment was made last year when I was making my no-oxygen attempt of Mount Everest, which I still believe was the first to go as high as 8,000 meters without oxygen last year. So I walked back down from that attempt, and I said this year, 2019, was going to be the year I was going to run the Tenzing and Edmund Hillary Everest Marathon, which is really the toughest marathon in the world, I believe. When they say it is the highest, I believe that. So for me to have done it, and having summited the mountain itself, and having run from its base all the way down to 3,000 meters, which is still higher than the Drakensberg, for 42 kilometers, I still believe it's quite remarkable. Grateful to have done it, pleased to have done it, and I'm just super happy that I've done this among many people that were here, including none other than the British ambassador to Nepal.
What about me?
The other one. Well, what about you? What did you do, Jerry? You tracked and you waited for 7.5 hours wanting to cheer me across the finish line. So it was so pleasing to see you about 50 meters before the finish. You jumping and almost actually coming to run down, but if there wasn't that ribbon, you probably would have done that. So thanks for your support, Jerry.
Well, what an extraordinary feat for you, Sibusiso. You are indeed an inspiration to all of us. Congratulations on this incredible achievement. We're wishing you many, many, many more to come. Ladies and gentlemen, Sibusiso Vilane. Ain't no mountain high enough for this man.